They say power isn't just about strength, it's about being untouchable. And in the skies above us, where the thin blue line meets infinity, there's one machine that embodies that word better than anything else ever built by man, the F-22 Raptor. This isn't just a fighter jet, it's a phantom. A ghost in the air, silent, swift, and absolutely deadly. When it appears, it's already too late. When it strikes, you never even see it coming. And when it's gone, all that remains is silence. But how did we get here? How did humanity build something so advanced, so intelligent, that it practically thinks for its pilot? Let's go back to the late 1980s. The Cold War was still burning and the skies were filled with tension. America knew one truth: whoever ruled the skies ruled the future. And so, Lockheed Martin began creating something the world had never seen before, a fighter that could dominate any battlefield, that could fly higher, faster, and remain completely invisible to radar. A machine that could not just fight, but think. They called it the F-22 Raptor. From the very first design, the mission was clear: absolute air superiority, no compromise, no second place. The F-22 was shaped like a predator, sharp, angular, deadly. Every curve, every edge, every inch of its titanium frame was crafted for one purpose: to disappear. To vanish into the air like a shadow, to confuse every radar, every missile, every enemy that dared to look for it. And the result, a masterpiece that could slice through the air at over 2,400 kilometers per hour and do it in supercruise mode without even using afterburners. That's right, it doesn't need flames to roar. It simply glides, fast, silent, unstoppable. Inside, the cockpit feels less like a plane and more like a spaceship. Screens flash data from every direction. The pilot doesn't see the world through one window, he sees everything. Thanks to its sensor fusion system, the F-22 collects data from radar, infrared, satellites, and enemy signals, and presents it all in one clean, beautiful image. It's not just flying, it's predicting. It knows what's out there before you do. Imagine this: a radar operator on the ground is staring at his screen. He sees nothing, just a calm, empty sky, but above him, somewhere, an F-22 is flying at Mach 2, quietly, invisibly, like a ghost among clouds. And when it chooses to strike, it's already over. That's the kind of power we're talking about. Power that cannot be seen, yet controls the sky. Power that makes every enemy hesitate. Power that says, you can run, but you'll never hide. But behind this perfection, there's a price. Each F-22 cost the United States over $150 million to build, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Its stealth coating, maintenance systems, and secret technologies are so advanced that even today, only a handful of nations have anything close. It's not just expensive, it's priceless. Because what you're paying for is invisibility. You're paying for control of the air. You're paying for the ability to dominate before the battle even begins. The F-22 doesn't need to show off. It doesn't need flashy colors or loud engines. Its silence is its message. Its presence is its warning. When it's up there, it owns the sky. But the story doesn't end there, because even though the F-22 was born to fight, its mission has always been something deeper. It's a symbol. A message to every generation that comes after, that technology, when guided by vision, can create something almost beyond human. The Raptor isn't just an aircraft, it's a statement. It says, we will always be ready. It says, we will always protect. It says, we are the sky. And that's the thing about the F-22. It doesn't just dominate the battlefield, it inspires awe. Every pilot who's ever flown it describes the same feeling: power, precision, and peace. They say when you're inside an F-22, the world slows down, you feel untouchable, you feel like the sky is yours. And that's exactly how it was meant to feel. Because in a world filled with fear and conflict, there's something poetic about a machine that can defend peace without ever being seen. The F-22 Raptor, the invisible guardian of the modern world, watching silently from above, ready, always. Ready. The F-22 Raptor wasn't built just to fight wars. It was built to end them before they even began. You see, when this aircraft takes to the sky, the world watches, not because it wants attention, but because it demands respect. The first time the F-22 flew, in 1997, even the engineers stood in silence. It wasn't just the speed, it wasn't just the sound. It was the feeling that humanity had crossed into something new. We had created a machine that didn't just fly through air, it owned it. And when the world finally saw what it could do, they realized this wasn't just another fighter, this was evolution, this was the future. But here's the twist. Despite being the most advanced fighter jet ever made, the F-22 never saw massive combat. Why? Because nothing and no one ever dared to challenge it. It was like having a lion in the cage. You didn't need to unleash it. Its very existence kept the enemies away. Its name alone was enough to stop wars before they started. The United States knew exactly what it had created, and that's why they made a decision unlike any other. The F-22 would never be exported, not to allies, not to anyone. It was too powerful, too secret, too perfect. Every bolt, every sensor, every line of code inside that machine is a secret guarded closer than gold. Even today, there are parts of the F-22 that only a handful of people on Earth are allowed to see. That's how sacred it is. Because the F-22 isn't just a jet, it's a guardian. It's America's invisible wall in the sky, a silent protector that ensures no enemy aircraft can ever fly unchecked. And yet, for all its strength, there's a strange sadness to its story. Because in 2012, after producing just 187 Raptors, the program was shut down. No more were built. The official reason: too expensive, too complex, too far ahead of its time. But maybe the real reason was something else. Maybe the world wasn't ready for a machine this advanced. Even today, years later, no other nation has built anything that can truly compete with it, not even close. They've tried, but the Raptor still reigns supreme. The F-22 became more than a weapon. It became a legend, a piece of modern mythology. Ask any pilot who's seen it in the sky. They'll tell you it doesn't just fly, it dances. Every movement is so precise, so smooth, it almost feels alive. The way it rolls, the way it climbs, the way it turns midair, like gravity doesn't exist. It can perform maneuvers no human body could survive in any other aircraft. But the F-22 does it effortlessly, like it's playing with the air. That's what makes it beautiful. That's what makes it terrifying. And if you ever see it fly past you, even for a second, you'll understand. You'll feel it in your chest, that low, deep roar that makes your heart race, that blur of steel and shadow cutting through the blue sky. It's not just an aircraft, it's art. Every inch of it tells a story of genius, of sacrifice, of dreams turned into reality. Thousands of engineers, pilots, and dreamers gave a piece of their life to build this. Some worked in silence for decades, never recognized, never seen, but they knew what they were building. Something that would protect millions. And that's what makes the F-22 more than just metal and engines. It carries soul, the soul of human innovation, the spirit of those who believe there's always something higher to reach. When you look at the F-22, you're not just seeing a fighter jet, you're seeing a message from the future. You're seeing what happens when humanity refuses to accept limits. And maybe that's the real reason we still talk about it today. Because deep down, we all wish to become like it: silent, powerful, unstoppable. The F-22 Raptor reminds us that greatness isn't loud. It doesn't scream for attention. It doesn't need to prove itself. It simply exists, and that's enough. Because when something is truly great, the world feels it. So the next time you look up at the sky and you see nothing but clouds, remember there could be something there, something watching, something protecting, something flying faster than sound, invisible to your eyes, but not to your heart. That's the F-22, the shadow of freedom, the invisible guardian, the silent promise that says, as long as I'm here, you are safe. The F-22 Raptor isn't just a machine. It's a dream that came to life, a dream that still reminds us, when we push the limits of what's possible, we create legends. And legends never die.